Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is another Macro Monday live show here on the Tim Warren channel. We got a lot to break down right now. There are some buy signals on the charts, in the news. There's reasons people are turning bullish right now. Here's the question, though. Is it legit? Can it be trusted? We've had buy signals in the last couple of weeks pop up and then end up failing. So is this one actually going to hold? Does this allow the markets to move back to the upside? That's the question. I think the other one would be, which markets are we talking about? Are we talking about the crypto market still? Are we talking about the major crash on gold and silver? Are they ready to boost back up? What is the stock market looking like? We're going to cover all that. Got a jam-packed show. Later on, people have been asking me, where the heck did Shrum go? Shrum, he's going to be joining us, giving us a little bit of breakdown on some news and some stock stuff you're going to want to pay attention to. So stick around for the whole show. There's a lot to cover here. Guys, we're here. We're going to turn the chaos into cash as we always do. If you enjoy it, as always, smash the like and hit subscribe. We just crossed 62,000 subscribers, all thanks to you guys. So keep it up. Smash more subscribe button. Let's take a look real quickly at what is going on here. Price a little volatile, but we're going to keep checking it out on the daily chart here for Bitcoin. I told you a buy signal is coming. It's kind of coming and going. We're kind of seeing it flash and then it goes away. But I want to talk about that here in just a second. But in a nutshell, Bitcoin did come down to the targets we talked about last week. Some of you remember we've been tracking this bear flag pattern, this ascending channel now for weeks after the more recent resistance touch all the way up at 98,000. When we lost this green line, we publicly went into a short here in the Tim Warren community. If you're in my live trading group, you made money on it. Where did we short to? We shorted to $76,000. Got there in quite a hurry, right? We entered on Thursday, the 29th. We took profit on Saturday, the 31st. I want to be very transparent here. I bought some Bitcoin the other day. Why did I buy Bitcoin? Because I have a DCA strategy, dollar cost averaging. I will, on all of the dips, because I believe in Bitcoin long-term, I buy Bitcoin when it dips. Am I in a leverage long at the moment? No, I'm not. Am I telling you the bottom is in? No, I am not. What I'm going to tell you guys in this video is that we did hit a major support level. We look like now we have double bottomed the lows back in April, which can be a very good thing, right? Double bottoming can end up being the bottom, but it's also something we haven't done yet in the bull run so far. We have not put in a same low. Everything up to this point, since you go back to the bottom of the bear market way back in November of 2022, was always higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. You kind of got close here in September of 23, but even that one didn't double bottom. It's still technically a higher low there. And so for the first time, we have hit a double bottom. Now, let me give you a potential, this could be just like back in 2021, a big disastrous pullback. Everyone was convinced that the bear market has started in the summer of 2021. Guess what we did? We double bottomed on lows we had in January of that year. So is it possible, capable? Is there a chance that Bitcoin right now is more repeating the moves of the summer of 2021 rather than the collapse in 2022? It's possible, but of course, the four-year cyclists out there will tell you, no, we are duplicating the bear market of 2022. We've got a lot further to the downside to go. Let me know in the chat where you sit on that argument. Do you believe the four-year cycle is still intact and you believe that Bitcoin is going to continue to see a much larger bear market, or are you a bull? Do you think there's a chance we replicate the summer of 2021? Do you think we're at the bottom or close to the bottom and we're ready for a move to the upside? Let me know in the chat down below. We got some news stories here later in the show we'll address on that. But let me make a mild case for a bullishness here, and then we'll continue with the show. Again, double bottom back here in April of 2025. We've hit the same level. Like I told you, there are some buy signals popping up right now. There's a new indicator we actually just released into our community called Kryptonite, and it's a little bit more of aggressive indicator here, using more heavily the MACD than money flow and RSI rather than just a different oscillator. You can see right now, after getting a plethora of Z-score reversal dots, after getting a green, we're working right now on the daily candle to secure a green momentum dot. This always comes in earlier than the neuro waves, and you're also starting to see it's flashing back and forth, but a lighter pink histogram. If you backtrack this signal right here can be the bottom. For example, a successful buy signal was back here on December 19th. We bottomed out in support, and while it wasn't an immediate shot to the upside, there was a big longer term move. We had a failure here just a couple of days ago, although there was no reversal indicator on this kryptonite score, so that's going to keep it from being an official buy signal. We did get a little boost on a fake out, but of course, we started going to the downside. This is a dynamic new indicator that I really do think is going to help improve all of our trading in that VIP trading group. So check it out when you get the chance. But it's the early stages, right? Today looks like the early stages of a possible daily buy signal as we're sitting on some strong support. Does this mean, though, that for sure it's going to happen? Absolutely, it's not. And I'll tell you this, I was talking with the team earlier today, and I told you guys I told them I was going to tell a story on the show today. Before we get back into it, I want to tell you guys the tale of two Tims. We're going to get this out into the open, and tell me if any of you guys are kind of in a similar boat to this. I want to tell you the tale of two Tims. There is the crypto Tim, right? I never go by that phrase. I don't particularly love the concept of just throwing crypto in front of your name and rocking with it. But you know what? It works for some people. Good for them. But there's crypto Tim, and then there's trader Tim. Okay. Two different Tims completely. Now, a lot of times I am crypto Tim on this show. A lot of times I do come on here and I tell you guys why I'm so bullish about cryptocurrency. I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, and I think the future is going to be very bright. I still think there's a chance 2026 is a very good year. I still think, as crypto Tim, I think the 4-year cycle is dead. I understand why people hold to it. I understand it still looks like it's playing out. Personally, in my opinion, in Crypto Tim's opinion, I think it's dead. And I think if the Clarity Act does pass anytime soon, and we're going to talk more about that in the show today, and I think if that happens, I think there's a boom that comes from institutional money. Now, that's Crypto Tim. Then there's Trader Tim. Now, Trader Tim doesn't care. I have to have a split personality here. Trader Tim doesn't care about the 4-year cycle, doesn't care if we're in a bull market or a bear market. Trader Tim just wants to make money by looking at indicators on the chart, letting me know if we're bullish or bearish. Is it time to long or is it time to short? Right? Trader Tim has his own portfolio that he's made a lot of money in here recently because of indicators on the charts. Crypto Tim's getting broke. Crypto Tim's portfolio is flopping pretty bad, right? Because I didn't sell at the top, because I still believe there's a lot of bullishness happening. My long-term portfolio is in the red. Well, I think it's actually still in the green because I bought so long ago, but if you compare it to any time recently, any purchase I've made in the last year, I'm heavily in the red for Crypto Tim. Put a 1 in chat if you guys relate. Do you guys have a crypto personality that you still believe something really bullish is going to happen, but you're getting wrecked right now? Do you have that trader side, though? It's very important to split these portfolios, to split your mindset. If I do nothing but focus on crypto, I'm a very depressed man right now. It's a very depressing time, right? I believe in Jesus, so I don't really have a problem with depression. If you have a problem with depression, though, it's real, right? If you're out there struggling with depression, if you're a heavy crypto investor, I understand why you're struggling right now. And reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you, encourage you. There's things bigger in life than crypto. But I've learned how to just get away from that and say, you know what, Tim, trade the market you're in. Don't worry about the long-term. Don't worry about March. Don't worry about later on. Don't worry about the next 10 years. Crypto Tim can worry about that. Trader Tim, do you see a bullish indicator? Do you see a bearish indicator? Trade it. Let me know if you guys are kind of in the same boat there with those split personalities. That's where I am right now. Right? Tale of two Tims. I'm a little bit optimistic in Crypto Tim, but I'm just telling you right now, Trader Tim is ready to go all in on a swing long position on Bitcoin. Give me a couple more candles here, right? Give me a little bit more. I'll tell you this right now, even this daily buy signal, you want to know where I would take it? Let's say Trader Tim looks at this. We confirm this. Time to go to the upside on the daily chart. I'm not going very high, right? I'm not going to make a big move to the upside. The reality is, because we now have hit the target zone of the rising channel, I think decision point's going to come in here back at this level right around 86,500-ish. It's a little bit higher. I think it's 86,700. But we could very easily, with a daily buy signal, make our way back up to this level, okay? After that, I don't think it's ridiculous that we reject right there. And so you know what Trader Tim's thinking? Trader Tim is thinking, all right, get this daily buy signal and long Bitcoin and see if we can make our way all the way back up to 86,500. Take profit. No matter what happens, take profit. If we hit it, we're going to take profit. If we reject, there's my new indicator coming in. If we reject on this order block, on this Gaussian channel, guess what? We're going to keel over, and Tim is going to enter a short position to come back down, probably lower, right? I'll probably stop. I'll probably just short back down to 75,000. If we lose that, I want to short down to 64,000, but I'm going to look for a short. If we break above it, though, I'll look for a re-entry, and I'll look to long back to the upside. Okay, is the bottom in? Crypto Tim wants to say yes. Trader Tim says, I don't care if the bottom's in. I'm just going to trade it. And right now, I'm seeing certain signs on the charts that say Bitcoin could make its way all the way back up to 86.7 and still not be bullish again. Another big reason I think that people need to be aware of that we could be having a buy signal come in. I told you guys there's buy signals, plural. It's not just over on the charts. This is a piece of information. I want to get Shrum's take on it later, but it's very important. We just put this out on X. You need to be following us over on X for breaking news. ISM PMI manufacturing printed 52.6. Expected was 48.5. The last print was 47.9. Why is this important? Because historically, when the PMI can get above 50, this puts the U.S. economy in expansion and is historically bullish for Bitcoin. You take a look at another chart here, you can see when you look at dates starting back in 2013, 2017, and even 2021, when PMI increases, PMI is the teal line, by the way, in this image, the orange line, Bitcoin, according to Z-Score, starts to rise as well. Well, guess what? This point, but here's another thing that's kind of convenient with 4-year cycle. 4-year cycle, PMI went up. Back in 2013, 2017, 2021, guess what did not happen in 2025? The PMI didn't go up. What else didn't really go up? Crypto prices. I mean, Bitcoin did put a new all-time high, but it was kind of lame bull market. You can see the Z-score. Yeah, it went up, but not as much as it really could have. Okay. 2021 was very lackluster compared to previous Z-score scores for Bitcoin, but 2025 was abysmal. So what this is saying right here is during a time of economic expansion, Bitcoin has tended to do well. Now, I want to give a little caveat to this because recently, one of our favorite influencers out there, sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I disagree with him. But Benjamin Cowan, for those who don't know him, go follow him on X. Great follow, great guy to listen to. I think he is right more often than he's wrong. He's bearish right now, and he gave brief time periods in 2014 and 2015 where they traded inversely. Okay. So take that what you will. I don't want to just throw this out there and say PMI's up. It's a guarantee Bitcoin's going up. I do have some issues with what he said. Maybe I'll explore a little more of that with Shrum, but you can see on this chart right here, it is pretty clear historically 2013, 2017, 2021, when the PMI has this nice run to the upside, Bitcoin does quite well as well. Okay, so there are buy signals on the table right now that have a chance of saying the Bitcoin bottom could be in. How do we respond to price action? I want to nail this down because I don't want people walking away from here saying, Tim said there's a buy signal. Tim said go all in. Tim said take a mortgage out in your house because Bitcoin's hitting new all-time highs. Tim didn't say any of that. Crypto Tim is sad right now. We're not talking to him right now. Crypto Tim is not leading the show. Trader Tim's leading the show. And Trader Tim says trade the charts. And the charts right now are starting to give us some buy signals. So, hey, it might be time to go long. Let's wait till tomorrow to kind of confirm that, but it might be time to go back into a long. But be cautious and don't buy right now and walk away from your computer. No, buy and then watch. For the littlest sign of resistance, we're going to take profit and we're going to get ourselves ready for another short opportunity. Okay? If you want to learn those kinds of strategies, by the way, I teach all of it in my VIP training group every day. Like I said, Crypto Tim, not doing well. He's a long-term hodler. It's not working out right now. Trader Tim, trading community, we find ways to make money in all this chaos. Go check it out when you get a chance. Let's address some other things we need to talk about in the news. I also want to talk about gold and silver here in a little bit, but let's talk about some other news stories first before we jump back into some charts. Let's start off here. Big news coming out probably today or tomorrow. This is a post from yesterday, I believe. Some of you know the government is technically in a partial shutdown right now. Why? Well, they voted in the Senate on a bill to refund portions of the government, but the House was not in session and they weren't able to vote on it. So they're going to be meeting tonight, I believe, sometime. And the U.S. House Speaker Johnson says he's confident that he has the votes to end the partial shutdown at least by Tuesday. Some people are saying, well, what if the Democrats go against it? The first thing is, I think in the House, Tell me if I'm wrong for some reason. I don't stake my knowledge on where we are politically right now. I believe the House, though, has enough Republican votes. They don't even actually need a single Democrat to vote in favor. But what's interesting is even if you thought, well, what if the Democrats go against it? Well, the Democrats in the Senate voted for the bill. So I'm assuming, unless something changes, I'm going to assume Johnson is right here. I think all signs are pointing towards the government is reopened tomorrow. We just had the historic longest shutdown here a couple months ago. We're avoiding that. We're going to look to avoid that here with this most recent headline. Currently, as we're talking, the meeting might be over, but there is an important meeting happening. Not as important as I thought last week. There were some updates that came out, but the White House is meeting with the crypto and bank stablecoin. They're meeting with crypto and bank officials on stablecoin yields, and they started today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But there is a big thing you need to know about this. It's probably going to be the first of many meetings. A lot of people thought we'd have some sort of big answer today. We're probably not going to have a good answer. This probably is not a catalyst right now for a big boom in crypto because it doesn't even have C-suite executives. Brian Armstrong will not be there. Jamie Dimon will not be there. It is purposely lower level officials to begin a conversation, to get on the same page. Hey, crypto companies, what's your issues right now? Banks, what are your issues right now? How can we work on language to get both parties happy with this bill? Right? Today's an initial meeting. There's probably more coming. The good news is the White House has claimed this is one of their top priorities. So if Crypto Tim wants to talk about it, he's optimistic. So if you want to be optimistic, you can be optimistic, but this is not a definitive statement whatsoever on what is going on. There is something as we start to make a transition here into some stocks, and I want to bring Shrum up here in just a second. I found this post from the Cabesi letter, another one of my favorite X follows. If you're not following them on X, I advise it. Follow me, Tim Warren Trades, and then go follow Cabesi letter. Corporate insiders are dumping stocks right now. I'm going to show you a graph here in a second. But 1,000 executives that U.S. listed companies have sold shares in January compared to just 207 buyers. Let me just go ahead and show you the chart. It's shooting up right now. Right now, there's a whole lot of selling going on in the stock market. We told you that was probably to be expected. Let's go over here and take a look at the SPY. The SPY is actually up right now, but you look at a lot of other stocks, Magnificent Seven stocks, for example, some of them doing well, some of them not doing well. But we told you, do not be surprised at all if the stock market does have a 10 to potentially 15% correction. Whether you want to draw this line here or here, it doesn't change the fact we're coming to the very end of what we would call a bearish rising wedge pattern. This suggests that the price of the S&P 500, if I can grab this here correctly, that's the price of the S&P 500 probably really wants to correct out of this support level. Again, whether you want to put it here or over here, there's a decent chance over the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, that we see the SPY pull back to 651. Okay. That's not unhealthy. It's not a problem. That's not a bear market. That's not a sign that the economy is crumbling. It's a sign right now that when you zoom out and you take a look at this chart, the S&P 500 is overbought. It needs to correct. It needs to come back down. And according to the Cabesi letter, there are some heavy sales going on right now amongst institutions. Speaking of selling, we cannot have this video and skip the selling conversation without talking about gold and silver. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure, listen, I try my very hardest never to misspeak. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I definitely probably have said something one time and then missaid it another time, and I was an accident. I want to be very clear here, though, because I don't want this to be like, oh, Tim's claiming to say this. Let me know in chat. So just type 3 letters, TRU, if I did say this last week and the week before. Did I not tell you guys that gold needed to correct a healthy correction of 20%? Just let me know in chat if it was true. If you don't think you said it, that's fine. Gold did. It came down 21% to the downside in 3 trading days. Here's what is not true. Tim might have predicted a 20% correction on gold. Tim did not predict it in 3 trading days. I thought it would take maybe a couple weeks, maybe a week at least. 3 days happened. I made another prediction. And again, tell me if you think I'm lying or tell me true if you remember it. I told you guys silver needs to probably correct 40%. In 3 days, silver corrects 41%. I missed both of my 1%, so I apologize for not being perfect. Never have claimed to be, but I think that's pretty spot on. The question is how we bottomed out just yet. If I can get this indicator load, I am having some problems right now with my Smart Pack tool Great tool, great weapon, really helps me with support and resistance levels. It is taking forever to load today. We're working with the developer. I think there's some glitches with some stuff made there, so we might see it, might not. I will tell you, as we start to look at these buy signals, right, do not have them on the daily chart. There we go. We do not have daily buy signals just yet. They're actually kind of just heating up with the resistance levels, but you will see support levels. Big order block here for silver. When I come over here and I look at gold, for example, let's see if that one, it's going to take a second to load there too. So let's just pretend with me that we see support levels there. What you do see though, is you go down to things like the 4-hour chart right now on gold and silver, and we'll have to wait and see. There's two ways of looking at this right now. There absolutely are buy signals coming in on the 4-hour chart. That doesn't predict anything long-term. That's nothing to say, oh, that means we're going to new all-time highs, but it's a potential beginning. You're always going to have a 4-hour buy signal before a daily buy signal, before a weekly buy signal, okay? This is how these things work. We are getting, according to these indicators I have here, both my kryptonite and my neurowave indicators, we are getting some buy signals here on the chart. Histograms are going up. Green momentum dots. We have a bunch of Z-scores telling us we're in reversal. It's a good feeling there on the 4-hour chart. Am I ready to long silver? Am I telling you go take a mortgage out on your house? No. Why? Because Trader Tim knows something, that he likes those buying indicators, but he wants to make sure there's another thing that's broken. You can see here there's a very clear trend. I'm going to turn that one green. I'm going to turn this one red. There's a very clear trend right now that we need to break out of. Let's turn this one back red. There's a triangle attached to a big slope to the downside. If we can secure a bigger breakout, not just at buy signals, if we can break above this resistance level, and I would really say let's get back above $87, $88 on silver. If we can break above there, cancel out a very bearish formation, we're ready to possibly make our way back up. Maybe that 40% correction was enough. Time to go back to the upside. The problem, as you guys know, and Trader Tim knows, I should probably stop talking about myself in third person. What I know that you should know as well, if you follow charts, is a symmetrical triangle attached to an explosive downward movement of price action is referred to as a flagpole, and a triangle is called a bear pennant. We just went through this with Bitcoin, everybody. If it's the same TA on Bitcoin, you got to also look at the same TA happening on silver and gold as well. Am I telling you this is going to happen? No, I'm saying let's watch. Trader Tim, there's my third person again, says let's watch to see if we reject on this red line again, this resistance level here, and we break below green. Weeks ago, I told you $48 silver would be interesting. That's a long way down. I still think there's a lot of reasons to be bullish on silver moving forward. I don't think this is time to go start dumping silver. But if we do start to go down there, I think you're probably looking down here at $60 at least, $61 on silver at least. But there is a formation on the table that says 48 is something to be on the lookout for. Now, again, for our buy signals, there's hope here. What do traders do? Traders wait for confirmation. Don't make any hasty decisions. Wait for the moves to come. Let's pretend you go in on a short right now. Let's say you're like, Tim, I'm just going to trust the charts. I see that bear flag pattern. I want to enter a short right here. Okay. Be my guest, everybody. You do whatever makes you happy. I just made a mistake right there. We go. Do whatever makes you happy. I would tell you, if you entered a short right here, right down to $60, and then the price shoots to the upside, just be very quick to exit. Take your loss like a man or a woman of character and be ready to just flip your opinion. Guess what? Oh, we broke out. Oh, it turns out short wasn't the right opportunity. Maybe it is time to agree with those buy signals. Maybe the daily chart gets a buy signal, and all of a sudden we're looking at a long situation again on silver. Just be quick to pivot, right? Here's what I want to free you guys up to something no one frees me up for. As an influencer, I have to be perfect. And when I get things wrong, I get ridiculed and called a lot of funny names on the internet. I don't care. I'm a big boy. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Let me tell you something, though. You're not an influencer, so you can do this. Pivot. Change your mind. No one's going to laugh at you. No one cares unless you make content for a daily living. Change your mind when your opinion is wrong. When something doesn't go the way you thought it was, it's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. Change your opinion. Change the direction of your chart, and you'll be okay. Okay, so is there hope for gold and silver? Absolutely. Are the daily buy signals there? Not necessarily. Stay around and watch, because there are still a lot of reasons, even for gold and silver, to look for bigger moves to the upside. Okay, so we'll have to kind of continue to see how that one plays out. There was one other thing I wanted to say that I wanted to bring on Shrum here. We talked about the PMI. We had not talked about this. Big story, big bullish story here. I have no idea how long this show is going to go because we're at 3:25 and I feel like we still have a lot to talk about today. Got some good tariff news. Put some claps in chat if you've been waiting for good tariff news. It's a long time. We always get bad tariff news. Good tariff news. India just agreed to reduce tariffs on the U.S. to 0% and will stop buying Russian oil. The U.S. will reduce tariffs to from 25% to 18% on India. It's about time. It's about time. I want to bring on my good friend Taylor Shrum, who at the moment is not on his. There he is. He's with us. He's alive. There we go. Are you unmuted? I know you were muted there for a little bit. Shrum, how are we doing today?
Oh, better than I deserve, Tim. Better than I deserve. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I had a question for you, though, in the stock room, because I want to bring you on to talk stocks. Before we do that, before we talk stocks, let's start off with some accusations that have been thrown out in chat and comment sections here recently. I have heard that you died, which would be news to you, I would assume. I've also heard that you were fired from our group. What is going on with you? What is happening right now?
Oh, man, I'm just trying to stay warm down here in Florida. That's what I've been trying to do. No, I can understand why people would be upset. You know, somebody you see every day suddenly isn't on the same YouTube channel that they've been on. You know, it's just logistics, folks. You know, sometimes you got to change some things up if you want a different outcome. And, you know, I think that there were some good changes made. And by the way, I haven't gone anywhere. In fact, you get about 10 to 20 minutes from me every single day on a channel that I post on right there. There it is. Look, Tim's prepared.
Yeah.
Taylor Shrum Crypto News. Yes, you can go check me out over there. Look, there's a video from today. I give my analysis every single day, and it's a lot less analysis. It's much more of just like what's in the news every single day with a little bit of, you know, weekly candle TA sprinkled in every once in a while. So I haven't gone anywhere. Tim, you and I are probably going to go play golf this weekend.
Probably. You know, it'd be really awkward if you were dead or fired and we're still playing golf.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably still beat you, though. Ooh.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and get rid of him from the show. I had questions, but okay. Let's talk stocks. Let's get work because we are working here. What is happening right now with the stock market? I mean, first of all, do you agree with the sentiment right now? Again, it's not mine, really. I feel like I'm actually more plagiarizing my take, but I just agree with it. A lot of people out there saying the stock market probably needs to correct 10 to 15%. Would you agree with that take? Do you disagree with that take? What are your thoughts about that?
Needs to correct. So I think we're in a midterm year. I think starting there and zooming out, we had an incredible year in 2025 for the stock market. The S&P and the NASDAQ seemed like they were closing all-time highs every month but April, right, in February. So it's been an absolute blockbuster year that we're coming off of. So I think that there's definitely reason to believe that we should see a sell-off sometime in 2023 or a correction.
26, you mean?
In 2026.
You live in the past, man. Might be dead.
You know, if you gain a lot last year, it makes sense that you might give some of it back, right? And after all, the markets have been pumping not just for no reason, right? It's been pumping because of AI as a very promising technology that's going to come in and expand margins and compress costs for the largest corporations in the world. And, you know, now it's kind of the question of, is that going to continue? And we got the earnings last week for Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla kind of saying, yes, that party is going to keep going. But Microsoft sold off, right? And I think that's kind of the part that's a little bit more complicated and that isn't making it through necessarily on the data side, but is absolutely making it through on the podcast side, right? So a couple of different podcasts have signaled that OpenAI is kind of falling out of favor. Maybe you are someone who's been using LLMs and you've noticed that ChatGPT is just not your go-to LLM anymore. Maybe it's Grok, maybe it's Gemini, maybe it's Anthropic or another one. Maybe you've built your own system, right? Maybe you've gotten really advanced, or maybe you're still using Google search. In any case, OpenAI is kind of being seen as not that great anymore, right? We got reports too that during Davos last week, the World Economic Forum, that Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, was actually in the Middle East somewhere trying to raise money for OpenAI, trying to go raise, I believe it was $50 billion, right? And then we get the headline this morning, right? The headline this morning was that NVIDIA is uncertain if they're going to fund one of those circular investment headlines. It was $200 billion into OpenAI. Well, NVIDIA, Jensen Huang's getting cold feet. So the question is it looks like the AI party is going to keep going, but are the organizations that are exposed to OpenAI, are they potentially going to be the ones that are responsible for a 5-10% correction in the S&P and the Qs? So that's kind of the state of the stock market right now. I personally bought a ton of Microsoft in the middle of COVID, right? When everything was bottoming out, I bought a ton of Microsoft. I sold that Microsoft yesterday on that 11% dip. I'm not going to stick around to see if Microsoft is going to be able to make their business model AI proof, and see if their AI move was the right one. There's just too much other opportunities out there in Meta, in Amazon, in Google, in these power players that seem to be getting AI right and not spending an insane amount of CapEx to get there.
We talked about some of these ones that had earnings reports last week. We talked about, I had a stock video last week. This is why you guys will watch the show every single day. We literally said, hey, probably time to let go of Tesla as Tesla starts to lose support. Now, Tesla, a little bounce back over the weekend, but now is starting to resume that move below support. Microsoft, technically getting towards support, but we told you, hey, maybe wait for a move closer to 400. It's continuing its descent. Meta, same thing. Big boost up, great numbers. Ever since that day opened back here on Thursday, it's down. The one stock we told you guys, hey, this one looks like it's in a great spot. The chart's looking a lot different. Apple. And Apple, since that time, has been surging. So of those four stocks, looks like we picked the right one. As he mentioned, though, Google continues to go to the upside. Amazon continue with a decent little move here today. But some mixed bags over there in the stock market. I had another question for you. Oh, went to the wrong chart there. Had another question for you when it comes to all three of these asset classes right now. So I've talked a lot about crypto so far, mostly Bitcoin, but everything in crypto is following Bitcoin's chart. We'll let you guys know when that changes. Altcoins are just kind of, they're playing. Altcoins are a very submissive dog on a walk right now, and Bitcoin is the owner of the dog. The metals, though, that's a new thing. Major crash in the metals. Stock market, mixed results. Some people expecting pullbacks. I read that report earlier from the Kabesi letter, says that institutions are selling stocks. A lot of this has to do with the new appointee. It's not official, but the suggested appointee from our president, Warsh, to be the head of the Fed, the chairman of the Fed. Is that the big reason why there's so much chaos right now in markets, in your opinion?
I do. I think it's the markets trying to price in the Kevin Warsh kind of QT hawk headlines and the details that come from that, and along with the government shutdown. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch. And the government shutdown isn't just a headline, right? It also restricts liquidity because the government isn't actually sending payments out to many agencies that then would go out and pay people, and people invest money with the revenues that they get from the government. So there's just a little bit of a drought of liquidity right now. But Kevin Warsh is a little bit of a problem in the eyes of folks who are further out on the risk curve because he's not historically been a super big fan of quantitative easing. Now, the type of quantitative easing that he's been critical of, though, is coming from Jerome Powell during COVID, right, and from Janet Yellen further back, right, and so maybe there's a little bit of a difference in what is acceptable for QE. I think that that we're just gonna. Luckily, we have a very robust financial media that's going to be able to kind of parse that out and see just how important that little detail is going to be. Not a little detail, how important that detail is going to be. But ultimately, somebody's going to ask Kevin. Maybe it's going to be Timorous. Maybe it's going to be some. Maybe it'll be Eleanor Tourette. But some TradFi journalist is going to get to the bottom of that and just see exactly what his mind is thinking. There's too much money not to get his perspective on this. Maybe it'll come through the Senate confirmation process, but the market will get clarity on whether or not he's going to just clear off the balance sheet of the Fed and kind of dump the markets in doing so, or if he's going to be kind of trying to address quantitative easing in a different way. But overall, I think the markets are right to try to reprice his nomination. And then there's the conspiracy that perhaps, going back to the midterm year, which is how I started my response, perhaps the midterm year, it's in the incumbent, the White House, the current administration's favor to go ahead and for the markets to dump in Q1, so that by the time we're nearing November in the midterm concentration cycle, the markets have long forgot about the big dump, and it's just sunshine and rainbows and happy smiley faces everywhere. And so that's another key factor. And potentially the way that the White House is doing that is by bringing forward a nominee that they're going to actually retract and put forward a different guy. And so it's a kind of a trial balloon. And I wouldn't put that, even though it's a conspiracy, I don't have any evidence for that, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility, because the White House has kind of parroted forward, kind of brought forward a couple of different names, right? And gotten some market data on how the market would react to those names. And so maybe this is just another one of those kind of trial balloons. So anyway, that's a little bit of a conspiracy corner for you on Kevin.
I don't know the answer to this question, but it'd be interesting to see at this point, how many of Trump's appointees, how many times when he goes to appoint somebody is the first one accepted? I can think of a handful of appointees that were rejected and he had to go with the second choice. I wonder what the odds are on that. If that is a strategy at the moment, hey, throw out the decoy, because we know the first one's going to get shot down, so we can kind of get the actual one we want on the second go round. Very interesting stuff. Listen, guys, if you guys want to see more of Shrum, he's not fired. He's alive. Just so you guys know, it takes more than one person to run everything we run. With our YouTube channel, we now have 3 YouTube channels. We have a thriving trading group. We have an amazing Discord with some of the best customer service you're going to find out there. Learn how to trade, learn how to do the markets. Every single day, we're giving our thoughts and opinions throughout the day. So sometimes you guys come in, you like these free videos once a day, which is great. I love free. You love free. But if you want to go deeper, go follow us on X, follow our YouTube platforms, and go sign up for our VIP trading group. You can find Taylor Shrum over here at Taylor Shrum Crypto News. Shrum, great having you on today. We'll have you on again soon. Have a great day, my friend. All right, we're going to wrap up the show here quickly. Love having Shrum on. Let me know in chat, do you guys like his takes? Did you like something he said? Do you disagree with him on anything? Let me know in the comments. We always love to hear you guys' feedback. I love having him as a part of our team. He's my research guru. Guys, if you want to do more, like I just said, follow me on X. Updates to even the stories we talked about here, updates to what's happening in the charts. Go over on X. We're giving news updates there all the time. Next one, go check out the VIP trading group. I'm not going to lie to you. There's some great stuff happening over there. There's money to be made. In the next couple of weeks, I am going to be starting a new series. I'm going to give you guys a head start. I'm working on some stuff in that new indicator I showed you a little bit today. We're going to do a 10X challenge. I'll make content for YouTube letting you guys know how that's going, but I want to see how fast I can 10X my trading portfolio. I'm going to be doing it daily live with the VIP trading group. So that interests you, go check it out. By the way, if you're not ready to just join the VIP trading group and get the indicators and trade with me, that's fine. You want to see me trade? You want to ask me some more questions, live trading sessions? Go check out Toobit right now. It's the exchange that I use for all the trading. It's where I'll do things. I use them because it's the best customer service, the best fees, everything I need, very easy to use. And by the way, when you sign up right now with my link in the description down below, I think we're also going to make it the pinned comment, you can get access to my free trading by just depositing $100 or more. You don't get the indicator. You don't get to be in the VIP chat, but you do get to see my live trading sessions and see what trades I'm entering and exiting. If you deposit $500 or more, you enter for a monthly giveaway of $500. We just gave away the first one last week. So go check out Toobit. Check out our VIP trading group. A lot of chaos out there right now. A lot of things are happening. And like I said, there's a tale of two Tims right now. If you missed the show earlier, tale of two Tims. Crypto Tim, who believes there's still a lot of hope out there, who still thinks that crypto has a bright future, who thinks the 4-year cycle is dead. He's not having a lot of fun right now. His portfolio's down, but you know what? There's also Trader Tim. And Trader Tim doesn't care about 4-year cycles, does not care. Trader Tim doesn't care about Bitcoin or gold or silver. Trader Tim cares about charts and creating wealth for his family. That's who I am right now. So you're going to see a whole lot more of Trader Tim here until things look better for the crypto world. So don't go anywhere. Don't unsubscribe. Don't stop watching content, because here's one thing I will promise you. Can't promise you a lot of things. Promise you this. Every single day we're going to come back and we're going to make some content here, and we're going to find ways to make cash in the chaos. If it's a bull market, we're going to be longing. If it's a bear market, we're going to find some shorts. Stick with us. Let's make some money. Smash the like on your way out. Hit subscribe. Go check out Toobit. Come trade with me. See you guys next time. Adios.